Hi, and thanks for listening to Gossip with Celebrity, brought to you by Celebrity.com. This week, we talk about the royals, the hot mayor of Minneapolis, Angelina Jolie, Coleen Rooney and the Wag Fight, and Mindy Kaling. Our user question is about how we got into online gossip, and we end with our weekly feature, the comments of the week. The stories and photos we talk about can be found at Celebrity.com/podcast under episode 33. Hi, I'm Katie, the founder and editor of Celebrity.com, and I write as Celebrity.
And I'm Chandra, I write as Kaiser, and I'm the head writer for Celebrity.
Last week, I was bragging because I had scheduled the skydive, and I was totally going to do that. But what happened was that they sent me an email, and they said, there's a 50-50 chance we can even go today. And since the place, the place is a 2-hour drive from where I live. So that's 2 hours each way. So I decided to reschedule it. And
when you said you got an email saying you had a 50-50, I thought it was like 50-50, you're going to die. And I was like, yeah, no shit. Uh-huh.
No, it's not. No. It is safer skydiving than driving your car on any given day.
Yeah, that's what big skydiving wants you to do.
Big skydiving. Oh my gosh. Big skydiving. Like this conglomerate.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't reschedule it yet because I'm watching these dogs and I can't drive for 4 hours and be there for 6 hours or however long it takes, probably another 4. And leave the poor dogs alone. So that's my excuse. But it's also very cold this time of year, and they say that the ideal conditions are done at the end of October. So I think I'm gonna just wait till the spring and then redo it when the weather's good.
Or you could just not do it. How about that? Just not do
it.
And
$50. I gotta
go for a nice drive. Maybe that will be really dangerous.
Just drive on the highway. I do that all the time.
Yep. You're dog sitting. Are you dog sitting one dog or two?
So I'm dog sitting 2 dogs. One is that sweet border collie who I had before, Mango, and the other one is a little papillon. She's a tiny fluffy dog with big old stand-up ears, and I'm watching both of them, and it is a ton of work.
Yeah. One dog is a lot of work. 2 dogs is insane. I don't know how one person could have 2 dogs or more.
I mean, they're really good dogs. They follow you around. They come when you say, and they're sweet. They have their own unique personalities. And that little dog, Daisy, is the little dog's name. And I have pictures on Instagram. I'll put them in the post for this. Daisy woke me up last night at 3 o'clock in the morning because she had to go to the bathroom. And I've been giving them treats whenever they come back in, and I swear they learned, if the more they go pee, the more they get treats.
Yeah, that's positive reinforcement right there.
So stop doing that every time. Oh my gosh. But they're super cute. And I had asked if I could watch them, so this is not something I had sprung on me. I volunteered because I love dogs. But
well, I have 2 cats now, and it's so much more work than I thought it would be. I always think, oh, cats are so easy, and it's so much more work. It's ridiculous. And talk about positive reinforcement. Dexter knows now that when I'm in the kitchen, there's a bigger chance that he's going to get fed. So I can't even walk into the kitchen without him grieving me for more food.
And he cries, right? He's whining.
Yeah, he's really loud. He's just a huge big mouth cat, and he just screams. And he was outside when the lawn guy came, so he was out there for the grass cutting, and I had to hear about it for about an hour.
Oh, Dexter was bitching.
Yeah.
He's like, who is that in my territory?
He was like, it was loud. It was terrible. Why aren't you listening to me? This is the worst story I've ever told.
Oh, man. So this week was weird. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. People are in bad moods. That's something we haven't talked about, which we could talk about later, is when people just get in a bad mood and then it's like this virus that goes through the comments.
No, I feel that. I think that
yeah.
I've been in a bad mood this whole week.
Yeah. So. Maybe we feed off each other.
I think commenters have been in a bad mood as well.
Yeah, it's like this vibe, and we all feed off each other. So the royal stuff wasn't that much. We heard last week, we talked on the podcast about Prince Harry suing the Mail on Sunday. He's also joining, it's like a class, not a class action, but some other litigants against British tabloids as part of the hacking scandal, where his phone was and his voicemails were accessed. You want to talk about that? I know nothing about this.
What, the lawsuits?
Yeah.
Meghan's lawsuit seems very straightforward.
That's easy, yeah.
Yeah, she's suing the Mail on Sunday because they published her letter to her father. It's pretty cut and dry, and I think we talked about this last week, that she's probably going to win.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little while, but she'll win it. Mm-hmm. Harry's lawsuit is different because we don't actually know that much about it. We don't know much about the lawsuit. We don't know exactly what hacking was done. We know that maybe it involved his mother as well, which, I mean, we're going back more than 20 years. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a huge thing, and it's shrouded in mystery. But it all relates to, like, the Maleficent inquiry, and that was when a lot of the British tabloid hacking stuff was revealed. But then it got quiet. Like, once the most scandalous stuff came out from the inquiry, then everything just went quiet. It went dead. And I think that this lawsuit will help to revive a lot of those conversations.
Okay, so we don't know much.
Yeah, basically we don't know much. But I think what we've seen is that Meghan is more prepared and she does her research. I'm not sure if Harry has done that similar kind of research, but
it's not just him, it's probably some other people too, and he's just joining it with his name.
Right.
Yeah, so that's about it. And then we saw Kate a couple times, or once maybe. We saw her once or twice this week.
Twice, because she was with the kids at the football game.
Oh, okay. She looked good, and that was that. You know, like they're still talking about what she might do later. She probably just goes to meetings all day. I mean, that seems pretty standard for these big organizations, is that they have a bunch of meetings and don't get anything done. So.
Well, the thing about it is that she's been hyping this big project, which I guess we're now calling the Early Years Initiative or Early Years Program. God knows, they won't even label it as a program or initiative. But it's like this big, massive undertaking that never really has an end. We don't know exactly what it is, but it's huge. Trust us, it's huge.
I think what happens with that is she just lets other people, like a big team of people, dictate how things are going to go, and they don't make any decisions.
Yeah, I think so.
It just sits there, and she's like, okay, and she's very congenial about whatever they're not doing, and then Meghan comes in, she's like, I'm going to do this, and she gets it done.
Right.
And it's frustrating to them because they do everything the old school, boring, nothing gets done way.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Prince Charles is more like Meghan. He goes into a meeting and says, this is what we're going to do. Maybe the Queen is more like Kate. The Queen will just let her people do a lot of stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
The thing about Kate is that she likes to take credit for just sitting there in a meeting.
But I seriously think she goes to a lot of these stupid meetings, and that requires a certain type of personality, which she definitely has.
Yeah, you could be right.
And we're not those type of people. We're like, get that done. This is annoying. And she is. Yeah.
From the leaks from Kensington Palace, they always make it sound like it's so unique that she'll sit there for 3 hours for a meeting.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, she stayed for the whole meeting. Well, how many of those meetings is she really going to again?
But they did say that she went to a lot of meetings, and I think that she probably does that, and that's fine with her, like. Anyway,
just different personality types, different kinds of managerial types. Well, she's not a manager. That's what it is. Meghan is a manager, and Kate is not.
Yeah. Another big story this week was that the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey is his name, told Donald Trump that he'd have to prepay if he wanted to have one of his stupid campaign Nazi rallies there. And he did this because Trump never pays his bills.
Right.
And we know that he's making cities foot the cost for these.
Yeah, and the cities have actually tried to bill Donald Trump or his campaign, and he just refuses to pay over and over and over again. Like, there are more than 10 cities who have tried to bill Donald Trump or the campaign for tens of thousands of dollars, and he hasn't paid. So Mayor Jacob Frey was like, nope, you're going to pay up front. Like, you have to pay up front, you Nazi piece of crap. And he also said, if you're coming to Minneapolis, we pay our bills. And I was this is so hot. And he went on camera to say all this stuff. And so I started creeping on his official mayor Instagram. And I was like, ooh, who is this handsome, Democrat? Ooh, he is good looking.
Right.
He is crazy good looking.
He is so attractive. He has like this gorgeous jawline, this curly black hair. He looks like a Greek god, like a statue face. And his smile. He's just so handsome. And
he has a nice little accent too, I think. He has a little regional accent.
Oh, cute.
He seems very honest. Oh, on his Instagram, he was like standing up for Planned Parenthood and a woman's right to choose. I was like, oh, this is the perfect man.
Right? I put that on Instagram and it got so much attention. It got more attention than pictures of the dogs I'm watching. Like, that is crazy. Everyone's like, oh, hello.
He needs to come on camera more often because that man is good looking.
He's gorgeous. And the way he responded to Trump was just so matter of fact. He's like, yeah, he tweeted me. That's what happened. He dealt with it really well.
And he's a runner, and he has like a really great body too. You should definitely check out his Instagram because it is good.
Oh, okay. I will. I will, definitely.
It's not thirst trappy, but he knows how good looking he is. You can tell.
Yeah. He's kind of reminds me a little of Prime Minister, what's his face?
Oh, Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, he reminds me a little of Justin Trudeau. I mean, he's hotter than Justin Trudeau, but he's got that same vibe. Like,
yeah, let's cross our fingers that Mayor Frey does not have a history of blackface. Let's just... Because that really...
I forgot about that. Aww.
That really bugged me about Justin Trudeau. If it was just once, like in the 90s,
it's like
I would
four
say...
4 times or something.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times. And it wasn't just blackface, he was doing brown face. And
How do you do that in your life? Like, we knew better than to do that. Oh, man.
So,
yeah.
Mayor Frey gets bonus points because he doesn't seem to have that kind of history. Let's hope.
That is a low bar, but... Another big story this week. So we're hoping for impeachment news, but we're not going to get into all that. It's just 45 being a complete idiot and perjuring himself or whatever he's doing. I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, he's just being an idiot and he's killing a lot of innocent people. And
oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah, he's being terrible, and that's part of the reason why I'm in such a horrible mood, because, this week has just been terrible for news, like real news.
Yeah. We got to see nice pictures of Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
And her kids. She's been going to the Maleficent premieres, and she looks great, and so does Dakota Fanning. It's nice to see her.
They just look so cute, and I love that Angelina has her kids with her, and then I feel like Elle is the honorary Jolie Pitt.
Oh, it's Elle Fanning. My bad. I called her Dakota.
Oh, I mix them up all the time too. Oh my God. I keep writing Dakota. I'm like, no, Elle. I think she looks like, well, I think Vivian will probably grow up to look like Elle Fanning.
A Fanning, yeah.
Got that blonde hair and the big eyes. Yeah, I just think that Elle and Angelina are adorable together, and it's cute to see them coordinate their outfits. And Michelle Pfeiffer, too. I think Michelle Pfeiffer and Angelina have been having a really good time together.
They look like fast friends. You could tell that they're friendly. And Angelina got a little more candid in recent interviews. Last week we talked about how she hinted that she had problems, and we weren't sure she was talking about her marriage. She was kind of talking in general terms about feeling afraid and how she had felt afraid. So she spoke with French outlet Madame Figaro, and Lainey Gossip had a translation of that. So this is an exact quote. But she said that she felt like insignificant during her separation and like she didn't recognize herself. And she said she was profoundly, deeply sad and hurt, but that she's been able to find joy and renewal and that sort of thing. So it was similar to what she said last week, but she went into a little depth and she did clarify that it was about her breakup.
Yeah, I think that checks out. I think that she went into therapy with the kids and that her main focus was the kids for a while, and she's just now started to like assess where she is as a woman, and I just think that she feels a lot better right now.
And you can see it too in how she is on the red carpets, and she kind of seems triumphant.
There was the one photo call in Rome where she looked so beautiful, and she just looked so into herself. Like she was really feeling herself, and you could tell in the photos. Her hair looked gorgeous. She
looked really pretty, and she was wearing that flowy white dress with the black floral print. And I know that because Lila asked me in one of the Amazon posts to find her a dress that looked like that. I found the print, but it had to be two different dresses because I couldn't find the print and the cut because these are cheap Amazon dresses. But yeah, she looks gorgeous. And then another big story, and this was really funny. And it was this Wag, how do you pronounce that? The women and girlfriends, the Wag Fight.
Yeah, we just say Wag. I think that's how you just say it. So it was a Wag Fight. They're both footballers' wives.
I've heard. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I knew who Coleen Rooney was.
Me too. Yeah.
Because I've heard of Wayne Rooney. I know that he plays for Team England. And I've seen Coleen Rooney's name in like all of the British tabloids that we read.
Yes.
Whatever. But I had no idea who Rebekah Vardy was. So anyway, the backstory is that Coleen Rooney has always been a tabloid fixture in Britain. And, you know, it's very low tier stuff. People who care about footballers' wives, basically.
Yeah.
So there's always a lot of gossip about her. And she basically spent 6 months trying to track down who was leaking stuff about her from her private Instagram.
Yes.
And so she did this huge scheme and she she posted on Twitter. So I did all of this and I figured out the one person who's been selling me out to the sun, and it's Rebekah Vardy. And
so what she did was she had Instagram stories, and on Instagram you can set it so it only shows it to the people who you want to show. And they don't know what the audience is ahead of time. And you can always see who viewed your stories. And she only shared it with Rebekah, and Rebekah only viewed it. And she planted 3 fake stories, and they both all got picked up by the Sun.
Mm-hmm. And so Coleen Rooney wrote all of this, you know, posted it on Instagram, and Rebekah Vardy freaked out. But it was just the drama of the Instagram belonged to Rebekah Vardy. And everyone in Britain was freaking out about it. And then there were so many memes, and it became like this political thing about the EU. And, oh, it was amazing. It was a really fun, stupid, great drama.
And Rebekah responded, and she was like, "I'm pregnant. How dare you?"
I love that too. She's like...
Like she's super delicate now and you can't even criticize her. And she said it was her assistant who did it. Oh, man.
Yeah, it was just a stupid, funny story.
It was.
And I wanted to talk about this just a little bit.
Okay.
Mindy Kaling, she's one of the women profiled for Elle magazine's Women in Hollywood issue, multiple covers, and Mindy is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And in the interview, she talked a little bit about how, of course, she's faced discrimination. Of course, she's faced sexism throughout her career. And she gave an example, the one instance of being a young writer and actress on The Office and producer.
Yeah.
The whole producing staff was up for an Emmy, and the Television Academy tried to kick Mindy Kaling off the producing list. They made her justify it by writing like an essay and having to talk to all of her white male coworkers about whether or not she's really doing the work or if she's just running around getting coffee or something.
She would need letters from them, like proving.
Right.
Yeah.
And the the men who worked with her stood up for her, and she, ended up on the producing list. But she used that as an example of what she's faced as a woman of color in the industry.
Yeah.
And the Television Academy freaked out, and they said, that's not what we did. We do that with everybody. We do that with white people too. And she was like, that is not the point I was making. And it just, it bothered me so much that they couldn't even acknowledge it. They couldn't even say, yeah, we were wrong there.
They should have said, we're so sorry to have put her through that. While we thought that it was one thing, we understand how it could be interpreted otherwise. Like, if they wanted to play both sides, they could have, but they didn't even acknowledge her.
No. And once again, she had to stand up for herself. It was just about men completely shutting down when a woman tries to tell her own story.
Oh, did you see the Instagram that Mindy Kaling posted from inside her closet? She's wearing a bodysuit and she's just sitting on the floor and she's like, I'm that bitch.
No, I didn't see it.
I was going to tell you so you can put it in that post.
No, I saw that you referenced that, when we were emailing about it, but I was like, well, the story I was writing is just about this, so I didn't want to say like, oh, here's a cute Instagram, by the way, because I was too busy raging.
You can see all her fabulous all her fabulous shoes, and her, like, a few of her purses. I'm like, okay, she's living her boss life regardless. Her closet looks awesome.
Well, I spent too much time looking at her architectural digest layout of her new Hancock Park house that I think she bought last year and had it like renovated and decorated. There's all this Indian furniture that she inherited.
Nice.
But there's new and classic stuff. I don't know. I really loved looking at her taste. It's not my taste, but I enjoyed seeing her style for her home, and her house is gorgeous.
Ooh, I will check that out. I look forward to that. I love looking at celebrity architecture stuff. Let's move on to the user questions. It's so fucked up. I can't even. Oh my god. Thanks for your voicemails, and we appreciate it. This is a voicemail we got from Jessica.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I'm a big fan of the podcast and a big fan of the website. I've been coming to see you guys for I don't know how many years. Anyway, question for you. Do you recall, was there a certain story that got both of you into celebrity gossip? I'm of an age where I remember the Chandra Levy gossip that turned, tragedy, kind of got me hooked on online gossip. And I just wondered if there was a specific story that got you guys into gossip, and specifically gossip online. Thanks. Bye.
So is the question what specifically got us hooked online to gossip? Because, I was always reading People magazine, the actual hard copy of People magazine when I was younger, before online gossip was even a thing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so, and I think my favorite was just Vanity Fair and reading.
Oh, you were fancy when you were little.
Well, I'm talking about like high school and college.
Yeah.
I would totally just read every article in Vanity Fair, especially the stuff about, old Hollywood scandals and that kind of stuff. So I think probably online gossip, I don't know. I probably started following it online during the Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan era.
Yeah, that's when I first started the site, 2006, when they were flashing everybody. Mm-hmm. Like, that was crazy. I had to delete all that stuff. So Paris was hanging out with Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And they were flashing, like, you saw the whole kitty. Of both of them, multiple, and Lindsay too, and it's like they were teaching each other how to flash the paparazzi.
Do you remember like that we couldn't even go 1 week, and I wasn't even working as a professional gossip at that point. But I'm saying we as the public couldn't even go 1 week without seeing their friggin' vaginas.
Yeah, we saw all the way,
and they would like seriously walk with their skirts up to like show us.
I remember those pictures very vividly, and yeah, I had to delete a lot of that but it was something, and you could tell they were feeding off each other. For me, when I first got into online gossip, it was Princess Diana's death, and that was very sad, and I remember seeing MSNBC covering sites that were talking about Princess Diana's death, and I could make websites at that time, so I made a website for her because I did really care and was deeply affected by it as well. And they showed my site on MSNBC, and I was thrilled.
And I think that not just Diana's death, but Diana's life. I think all of the gossip followers in their 40s, like you and me, we were very affected by Diana's life and her whole energy. Like, she was the first real global celebrity. She was the icon for a lot of the celebrities right now. So, yeah.
I followed this Instagram account called Lady Di's Revenge Looks, and it's just tons of pictures of paparazzi photos of her and pictures of her at events. And she just always looks resplendent. She, like, even when she's wearing like workout gear or whatever, she looked great.
Mm-hmm.
She was just
photogenic. She was crazy photogenic. She was so charismatic on camera.
Yes.
And I'm sure she was charismatic in person too. We just never met her, you know.
She had that voice that you want to just lean in and listen to her.
Well, she had a very soft, girlish voice.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the comments of the week. After we recorded the podcast last week, this story came out about Elizabeth Warren. It was a right-wing conspiracy theory meant to smear her. It was about her sleeping with this 24-year-old Marine who was moonlighting as an escort or something. And it was so dumb and so fake. But it also made her look awesome.
Yeah, they were trying to smear her, and they made her look like she was a really cool sex maniac.
We were like, go. I'm voting for you. So one of my comments of the week is from that, or my comment of the week is from that post. So Kraken said, just wow, she's 70. I'm a mere 47, and I have been trying to sexually destroy a 24-year-old Marine for months. I need to up my game. Role model Pocahontas. And then after that, somebody was like, okay, you shouldn't say Pocahontas because, you know, what happened to her was terrible. And then they that's pretty much what they said. And then Kraken was like, oh, I understand. I'm an Indigenous person. And they were so nice to each other. I was like, that is sweet. So they worked that out. And that was funny.
So my comment of the week was from the announcement about Kate's early years project, which we'll get an announcement about it, you know, at some point before the end of the year, allegedly, probably not. And it's just this running theme that we've had for a whole year now of, is she ever going to establish what this project really is? And so I don't know how to pronounce this name. MTEC, Mettech.
Okay.
Mettech. She wrote, laugh out loud. That's what I thought as well. Just complete vagueness and word salad. There's nothing clear or concrete to what they're saying. It's already close to the end of the year. They should hold off announcements till they get ready to launch. What is this? Better provide solid social and emotional platforms. What does this even mean? And then Bros commented, which I thought was it made me laugh as I was moderating comments. Bros said, laugh out loud. This reminds me of when I'm writing a grant and have nothing to actually say in the narrative, but you have to look like you're trying to. So you just throw in words like civil society and stakeholders.
All right, I want to defend Kate for a minute, but also I just want to point out that travelist shit that Prince Harry did sounded just like this too.
Oh, yeah.
Like it had no... So this could be a general royal initiative BS, like how it ends up sounding. And it might not have to do with her. She might just be going along with the firm and letting them throw out their word salad announcements, which mean nothing.
No. This is Kate's project. This is her big keen project that she's been hyping all by herself with, you know, Kensington Palace, that she's been hyping for more than a year. This is supposed to be her standalone big deal. This is not Buckingham Palace ordering her to do something. This is Kate trying to look busy.
No, I'm just saying this is how the firm does stuff. She does it their way. I'm not saying that she shouldn't have done more. I'm saying she's doing it the way that it's done. which is nothing. And it's slow as molasses. And it's a bunch of bullshit, which is why I don't work with certain groups that I have wanted to work with in the past, because I've tried to work with them and they drive me crazy with the slow ass way they do things.
Oh yeah. And I mean, the announcement on the Royal Foundation website was ridiculously worded, and if she had actually thrown in civil society and stakeholders, it would have made the statement make more sense.
Yeah. When I used to work in the .coms, they would say synergy all the time and synergistic.
Yeah.
And now whenever I hear that word, I like automatically dislike the person.
The latest thing, which is like crossover from business to the wellness thing, is impactful. Everything has to be impactful.
And Megan did that. Megan used impactful, yep. Right? When she
Megan
was sitting with her dogs. Like her dogs were there.
She was sitting with her dogs, and it was impactful, and the stakeholders of the civil society were very happy.
And she was texting and waiting for a response. She saw the ellipses, the 3 dots, the greatest anxiety provoker, whatever she said about ellipses. All right, thanks for listening, bitches.
Thanks, bitches.
Thanks for listening to the Celebrity Podcast. We're now on iHeartRadio. If you like us, tell a friend. And if you subscribe, review, and rate us wherever you listen, it helps us out. We need more voice messages to play on the show, and you can leave us one at 434-218-3219. Our music is from Premium Beat, AA Alto, and Maiden. Thanks again.